Hello, my dear friends. Let's see who is coming to join us on this live stream. Say, right. Hello, my dear friends. Is there anyone coming to join us on this live stream today? Yes. Hello, my dear friends. Let's see who is joining us on this live stream. Hello, my dear friends. Sound check. Guys, tell me if my sound is all good. Okay, wherever you are, my dear friends, you're welcome to this live stream today. It has been a while since we caught up on these royal messages. I hope every single one of you is having a fantastic time, guys. It has been a while since I did a live stream, and what a beautiful Sunday evening to come live here on YouTube to just sort of catch up with what has been going on in the world of our British royals. You're welcome to this live stream here. We share all that is been going on in the world of our British royals. I hope every single one of you guys has had a fantastic weekend, and hey, how time flies. We are already starting to think about the days ahead in the new week, but I hope most of you are getting yourselves all set up for another brilliant week that is lying ahead of us. Anyway, welcome to this live stream. Francis Page Media is where you are, and this channel is always where we come to sort of catch up with what has been going on in the world of our British royals. It has been a while indeed since I came since I did a live here, and I thought, why not this Sunday evening? A lot has been happening, of course, in the world of our British royals, as you have been following up. And I thought today, why not come here to sort of look at what those stories that have been hitting the news headlines recently have been up to in terms of whether they are true, what sort of sense do we make of them, and sort of get your ideas and way of thinking about these stories. Hi Ashan, it's great to see you. Welcome to this live stream. It's been a while, my dear friend. I hope you are doing just fine, Ashan. We need to catch up very soon. It's been really terribly busy on my side, but hey, I wish you a fantastic new week ahead. But you're welcome aboard this live stream. Whatever views we share here, these are my own views, guys. I'm inviting you all to make your own research on your side so that we are all up to date and on the same wavelength, sharing these messages. And please don't forget to comment, like, and share these messages with people in your networks so that they get to learn more about this brilliant channel here at Francis Page Media. So it has been really busy in the world of our British royals, guys. And most of you have been following up on these stories, and some of these stories have been extremely surprising, some have been exciting, and some stories have always been thumbs up, as we know, and as we are going to be talking about those stories in a short while. But let us kick off with Queen Camilla. Well, people call her Queen Consort Camilla, but I think the royal family issued a statement recently telling us that from now on, Camilla is going to be known as Queen Camilla rather than Queen Consort Camilla. I think it was too much adding the consort there. After all, she's going to be coronated alongside King Charles III come the 6th of May 2023. By the way, on that note, again, I would like to make some new updates here. Most of you might not have heard of these updates. King Charles III issued a new statement. Well, let's say Buckingham Palace issued a new statement changing the dates of the coronation ceremony from the 6th of June to the 6th of May. So the dates were brought down by a month. I don't know why that is the case, but I think we tend to have bank holidays here in the UK. So, and May, our bank holidays tend to fall within the month of May. So I think King Charles III decided to bring forward the coronation day to coincide with the bank holiday so that we get to have a longer bank holiday weekend. But again, we shall know more details about why he decided to bring this day forward. But I think it was mainly to do with the fact that May the 6th was the most applicable day, or was the better day to carry out the coronation ceremony. But yes, that's it. The new coronation date has been announced, and it has come down from the 6th of June to the 6th of May 2023. So if you're making your travel plans, arrangements, and stuff like that, be reminded that you change those dates of travel. If you've booked your tickets, again, make sure that those tickets are going to be valid for travel. Okay, but that's it. The new dates have been announced, and yes, it's now the 6th of May 2023 for the coronation. Right, so a lot, of course, I've told you has been going on, and recently, Queen Camilla has been sort of commissioning or putting together all the teddy bears and the Paddington bears, as they call it here. She has been putting them together and starting to send them off to the charities that are going to be taking care of them. So these Paddington bears were bears that were given to Buckingham Palace in honor of Queen Elizabeth. We know that so many floral tributes flocked into Buckingham Palace from people around the world, and most of these included Paddington bears. And apparently thousands and thousands of Paddington bears were donated to Buckingham Palace in memory of Queen Elizabeth. So Buckingham Palace has put together all these bears, and they are now due to send them to Barbados. This is one of the biggest charities here in the UK, and of course some other smaller charities to take care of these Paddington bears on behalf of Buckingham Palace. So the royal family shared a very, very wonderful photo of Camilla. I don't know why I always like to call her Queen Consort. Well, Queen Camilla sat with the Paddington bears that are ready to be dispatched off to their new homes. And if I can show you this image, very, very wonderful image there. That is Queen Camilla sat together with, if I take this off so you can see properly. Yeah, brilliant image. Thousands of Paddington bears. They were all cleaned up and made ready to go to their new owners. But yes, so that's what has been happening. Of course, if you want to learn more about that story, guys, check on the royal family official Twitter page. That's where they share most of these up-to-date photographs and images of what is going on in the royal family. But yes, that is what is happening as we speak right now. So guys, thank you so much for the support that you showed the royal family over the mourning period. Of course, it ended some 2 weeks ago, and our royals are already out there doing what they love doing most. And as we have seen, Queen Camilla stepped out recently on a solo engagement, visiting a hospital and also visiting a domestic violence center where the victims of domestic violence are being looked after. And while there, of course, she showed her love and devotion for this charity that is helping women, men, and children who are victims of domestic violence. We know that Queen Camilla has the love for that sort of area of work, and as the Queen now, the Queen Consort, her work now is to make sure that these charities managing domestic violence are well facilitated and that they get the publicity that they so much need to make that difference in its victims' lives. So that is what Queen Camilla has been up to recently. I'm telling you, these royals are all stepping out solidly to start driving the work of the royal family forward in the ways that Queen Elizabeth very much wanted them to do. And on the other side, of course, Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, also traveled abroad. She has been visiting a number of countries in East Africa. Many of you know Sophie as that member of the royal family who doesn't tend to get the publicity she needs with regards to what she's doing for the royal family, but she's doing some really, really incredible work. And she has been traveling around Africa. She went to Mozambique recently, met with the Mozambican president to discuss about how his country, of course, is coping with the economic crisis and most of all these issues surrounding the country itself. They recently got a new president, and I think part of that would have been meeting the new commissioners who are in charge of the Commonwealth within Mozambique to see how, again, they can work closely with the royal family to drive the work of the Commonwealth in that region of the country forward. So yes, that was Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, visiting Mozambique. She went down to, I think, Malawi, and she also had a stopover in Rwanda. And obviously here she was also able to visit the site for the victims of the genocide, the Rwanda genocide, which happened in 1994, where some 800,000 people lost their lives. So we know that King Charles III had visited Rwanda prior to becoming the King of United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. But again, Sophie Wessex had to go back to visit Rwanda as well as part of this sort of royal tour that was organized around the East African region. So Rwanda was another fantastic stopover for Sophie. Sophie is the wife of Prince Edward, who would be the last born child of Queen Elizabeth. She's rarely in the spotlight for her events, and especially with these tours abroad, she rarely gets the recognition she deserves. But I thought it was, it would be ideal for us to give her a shout here. And try to recognize her work for the royal family. Hi, Kam Fang. Thank you so much for joining us today again for this Royal News live session. Of course, we are catching up with the latest that is going on in the world of our royals. Welcome aboard, guys. I'm incredibly happy to have you on this live. So we are, yes, looking at Sophie, Countess of Wessex, who recently traveled abroad. Guys, she has been out and about East Africa, spreading the great work of the royal family in these regions of Africa. Let me see if I can pull up one of the iconic photographs that Sophie took while she was in one of these regions. So that photograph is of Sophie, Countess of Wessex in Rwanda, where she has been recently as part of her royal tour of the East African region. And there we see Sophie Sophie, I think, had visited a site for the victims of the Rwanda genocide. You guys know that big conflict that happened in Rwanda some 20 years ago, I think, 1994. 800 people lost their lives in this massacre. And I think it was a conflict between tribes that were butchering each other in fight for power. And the West must have blamed themselves for not stepping in early enough to stop these tragedies from happening But again, we see our royal family right now trying to go there to see how they can make a difference in the lives of the victims who are still suffering under these repercussions that happened some 20 years ago. So that was Sophie in Rwanda. Very, very iconic image of Sophie there visiting the Rwanda genocide victim site. Let me see if I can pull up another photograph of Sophie here. And there's one I like. I don't know if it will pop up. This one here. That is another magnificent photograph of Sophie. So that one there, Sophie, I don't know if you can see it clearly, guys. My camera is blurry this evening. So that is Sophie, and she was looking at the skulls. These would be the skulls of the victims. Some 5,000 skulls were all put in one place, allowing the relatives, friends to go in and always have a bit of a memory of what happened in Rwanda at the time. So that was Sophie, of course, visiting that site. We saw King Charles III as well some time back visiting the same site. And for this trip here, this I think would be the second most high-profile visit that royal visit, that Rwanda has seen. The first one was King Charles III. Shortly before he became king. You remember, guys, Rwanda hosted the head of Commonwealth meetings, and King Charles III, of course, went there to officiate on behalf of Queen Elizabeth. So Sophie went there recently again, to make some sort of follow-up of events and try and finish up what King Charles III had left on ground. So I just got on. I know the news of Sophie's tour to Africa. Yes, Kamfang. I think she really, really did well for this tour. This was a very, very highly classified tour. It wasn't very publicized, I think, because of the security sensitivity of the trip itself. Don't forget, Sophie went to Congo as well as part of this tour, and we know how Congo is facing a lot of challenges in maintaining peace and security in that region. So royals traveling to those areas are supposed to sort of go unnoticed. So they are not supposed to communicate these visits in advance, just to make sure that there is some sort of security measure in place to make sure that they are safe while down in Africa. But yes, that is Sophie Wessex, or Countess of Wessex, a very, very hardworking member of the royal family. And yes, so royals are moving. They are out and about. Princess Royal Anne traveled to United States, and she went to New York, visited the British High Commission in New York, went to a museum and commissioned its new opening, met reservists in these areas as well. But she was also carrying out that work as part of this new scheduled work for all members of the royal family. So that is what has been going on abroad in terms of our British royals. But here back home, we know that Catherine and William are also on ground, very, very busy, very, very busy. Those of you who have been following up on William and Catherine, I think you will bear me witness. You've seen these two visit a number of charities in the locality. We saw Catherine visiting a baby bank and visiting some hospitals to try and catch up with the leftover work that was meant to be done last year, but because of the pandemic, some of these duties were pushed forward to this year. So we are seeing Catherine and William trying to patch up with these events, to visit charities per charity. Every day they have somewhere to go, and they want to accomplish these tasks well in time before the coronation of King Charles III. So we've seen Catherine recently visiting the Olympic Park, and this Olympic Park is well known for boxing events, karate, all those martial arts events, and these are events, that are helping young people to build a career. Young people who have faced difficulties, young people who have grown up in difficult homes, are being supported to become who they want to be in terms of being successful through training, through being coached by experts, by former Olympic winners. And so this was a big charity event that William and Catherine visited. It is located in East London, some very, very popular area, part of London, and well known for the London Olympics. Most of you remember the 2012 London Olympics, which were based in East London. So Catherine and William visited this site, and they were meeting wonderful coaches who were training young men and women in boxing, martial arts, and all that stuff, preparing them for successful careers and lives, wonderful lives ahead. So William and Catherine were really out, and they also really, really did wonderfully well. Let us also not forget that William and Catherine are the new Prince and Princess of Wales. And in their new role, they are supposed to step out even more, become more hardworking, step out more, meet people, engage in conversations, connect with the public as more as they can, because they are going to be the new king and queen, after King Charles and Camilla. And we saw that shift in power from William being the from being the second in line to the throne to being the heir to the throne. It means that he just has that one step to go to become king. And in his new role as the Prince and Princess of Wales, William and Catherine, they are set to visit, charities, go as far as they can go in meeting people, in understanding how big events operate, and also getting used to that work ethic before they climb up into the position of king and queen. So that is why we are going to be seeing more and more of William and Catherine in the coming next few months before the coronation ceremony, just to give them that confidence, in managing many engagements and all that. So well done, William and Catherine, again, for being the emblem for the royal family, but also for turning up diligently. Of course, we know that this couple is young, energetic. Catherine is always very, very well dressed for these occasions. Every time she steps out, she is going to send the fashion world into frenzy. Whatever she wears sells out in minutes. She has got such a large following of young, old people. So whenever these two step out, they are going to always make that big impact in the communities. Hi, Lorna, good to see you, and good afternoon. You've found this live today again, as always. I really, really appreciate. So we are all catching up with what is going on in the world of our royals, Lorna, and we have already caught up with, Camilla, what Queen Camilla has been up to. Sophie has been abroad in Africa. She's due to come back. And William and Catherine have also been out and about recently in their new role as the Prince and Princess of Wales, doing really, really wonderfully fine. So our royals are very busy and indeed working so hard to make King Charles III's work as easy as it can be. Most of these royals I'm talking about are royals who have been they have been promoted as well. They have been given new titles in recognition of their work for the royal family. And when you see them travel abroad to go and meet communities here and there, it is a sign that King Charles III has indeed instilled all the power and authority for them to carry out the work on his behalf wherever they go. So let us support them, and let us pray that King Charles III gets to have a great reign, just like his mother, Queen Elizabeth, the one we lost a couple of months ago. So Wherever you are, guys, and wherever you're watching this live from, I truly appreciate your support. Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Let me know what story caught your attention this week. Let us talk about it, guys. Let us have a conversation here. So across the border, Meghan and Harry have also been, of course, going on with their work in the United States. But let us visit this story. Meghan's recent podcast, and that podcast, Meghan was talking about her mental health issues. Now, that episode really attracted so much controversy. Many people saying lies and lies and lies and lies again. I don't know if you guys have caught up with that podcast, but it is still being talked about. Very many news channels have shared the same story, talking about how Meghan has told another big fat lie. Big lie. And in that episode, of course, she said that that she suffered under mental health issues during her time in the royal family, and that the royal family did not do much for her. So we already heard about this during her Oprah Winfrey interviews. Most of you must have followed up on that story. And she simply said the same thing during this most recent podcast. She said that she was not helped with her mental health during her time in the royal family, and she said that had it been for her husband Prince Harry to sort of liaise or call someone outside to come and help Meghan deal with her mental health, she would have been no more. Now, I think that was a very big statement for her to make, because we know that Prince Harry himself, William and Catherine are part of the mental health machine within Buckingham Palace that supports all the royals suffering under mental health, but not just royals, even people working within the royal family. And I suppose Meghan coming on board would have arrived at that time when this machine, mental health machine or program within the royal family was at its peak. It was really working, full of energy. The royals were driving it, were very young, passionate, and also had their experiences with mental health. William suffered a lot of mental health during the time he lost his mom, Princess Diana, but also during the time he trained as a search and rescue pilot. Catherine herself, had seen some sort of mental health issues, related issues. She's a mother of 3. There's a lot of strain that she had to carry out royal duties and look after her young children. So she had a significant amount of mental health related issues. So for Meghan to come in and say that she was not helped in any way, shape or form with her mental health issues, and that Prince Harry had to actually contact someone outside of the palace to help Meghan, I think that was another big fat lie. That is my thinking, because again, how can your husband fail to put you through to the right channels within the royal family to help you with mental health, and then ring someone unknown outside to deal with his wife's mental health? That doesn't add up, does it, guys? I want you to tell me what you think about this. Lorna says, how long was Sophie away for, and where did she travel to? Was she to see the places? Yes, Sophie has been away for nearly a week now, and she, of course, has been to so many places. She's been to Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo. She has been to Rwanda. She has visited Botswana recently, and now, as we speak, she might be leaving Malawi. So these are 5 East African states. Very sentimental area in terms of that relationship, the Commonwealth relationship with the British with the UK government here. And we know that Rwanda recently took on a policy to take on immigrants that were coming from Ukraine and all these war-torn areas that Britain had received here. So United Kingdom worked out a policy between us and Rwanda to sort of give these new immigrants a home to live until the war is finished. So Sophie, of course, had to go there as part of that follow-up plans to sort of see how things are going. How are these people settling down? How is Rwanda managing these events? But also to sort of touch base with Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, in terms of that unity, the much renewed unity that his country has come under with the Commonwealth. Rwanda wasn't a member of the Commonwealth because we know it was colonized by the French, but they joined the Commonwealth later on after realizing that more support was coming from this part of the world more than the other side. So the relationship between Britain or United Kingdom and Rwanda is very sentimental, very sensitive, but extremely important in understanding how the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth work. And so Sophie, of course, visited Rwanda as part of this arrangement, but she went down to Congo to meet victims of war in Congo. And of course, we know Congo has for long been ravaged by war. And part of the royal family as well is to make sure that all these citizens living in these countries get access to good services, to good health, the women and children especially. And that's why we are having royals fly there every now and then. And when our royals go there, of course, they are not taking money down there necessarily, but they are sort of creating awareness of the good work done by these regions in Africa. And through creating that awareness is where funding comes in, is where networks are built, but also that is the solidarity that very much lies within the Commonwealth. And of course, Queen Elizabeth, the dead queen now, and had sort of established this unity and held these countries together. So we hope that King Charles III lives to keep this unity going. And part of King Charles's program is to ensure that royals visit these areas more often to keep them on track. So Lorna, if you missed that part of the live session, I hope I have covered that for you. And again, you follow that up by saying, isn't her mother a mental health counselor? She did help. You're talking about Meghan, I think. If you're talking about Meghan, of course, these are all the questions that are being asked. Okay, how can you get to that point of committing suicide when you are in an establishment which is known to be having the best mental health, support networks, the best resources to deal with these problems, but not that. Meghan got married to Prince Harry, who is 5th now in line to become the British to the British throne. So he has the support he needs as a future king, if he's going to be, to deal with several issues, and that support extends to whoever his relationship or his family. And Meghan, of course, is part and parcel of Prince Harry. So I really see why I don't see why the royal family, allegedly could not give Meghan this support, when we very much know that they helped her so much prior to marrying into the royal family, to understand the norms and values that are within the royal family. We saw King Charles III being Meghan's playing Meghan's dad on Meghan's wedding, of course, when he walked her down the aisle to go and meet Prince Harry somewhere down the aisle. And we very much know how Meghan had issues with her dad. Her dad couldn't come to walk her down the aisle. We don't know whether those issues were orchestrated by Meghan herself. But again, the royal family stepped in to make sure that Meghan had a good sort of landing within the royal family. So it was really, really unfair to see that she, in her podcasts, sit down there and start dishing the royal family, talking negatively about the very people who loved her, who welcomed her, and who had given her the support she needed, to get that good landing in the royal family. So, Lorna, you make a very important point there. Meghan had all the support she needed. She had all these networks in place within the royal family that could help her deal with these issues. But she simply just decided to walk away and wanted probably to use it as a way of giving her the justification to leave. Let me tell the world there that I didn't get the support I need. Let me press the buttons that are going to evoke people's emotions to think, yes, Meghan was right to leave. They feel sorry for me. No, she always wants people to feel sorry for her. Okay. And Phoebe, hi Francis, I hear loud and clear. Thank you, Phoebe. If that has just popped up on my screen, you are welcome to this live stream. Phoebe, congratulations on your growth, my dear sister. You are really, really growing steady fast. This battery is against me, I think, but we will toil on. Guys, if you're not following Phoebe to Kenya Lifestyle here, please follow her channel. She is sharing some amazing content. And before I forget, guys, I would like to thank you all for the support. Recently, our channel has eclipsed the 50K mark, and we are well onto our last half of the 100K subscribers. I hope we get to achieve that target before the end of the year. I think I'm being over ambitious here, but there is nothing impossible when we set our sights on something. So you will all agree with me that together we can achieve that success, but it's all up to you guys here on this channel, always commenting, sharing your thoughts in the way that you do. And of course, we are so like-minded people grow. So I'm very, very, very grateful for your support. Okay, so Lorna says, I don't believe Meghan asking for help and it not being met. She is the mother to a royal baby. Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody can see this. I mean, she tells very, very blunt lies that people can see. She likes to capitalize on issues that are going to evoke people's emotions because she knows that is where she is going to get people to sort of feel sorry for her. But if she goes on doing this and if she goes on building a brand based on these grievances and things that didn't work well for her, I don't see her growing beyond where she is right now. And let us not forget that she needs to build her own identity. So she's married to Prince Harry. Prince Harry is already a prince. He is the son of King Charles III. That's another story we can talk about later. And of course, Harry was born by Princess Diana, a very renowned woman in the whole world. So he has already built his identity. Like it or not, Prince Harry is always going to be known around the world. And if things fail, Prince Harry is always going to fall back to the royal family for support. This is where he really, really needs to think carefully before treading into Meghan's programs. Okay, but we know that Meghan hasn't built an identity beyond just being Prince Harry's wife. Anything can happen. People can change their mind, and Meghan isn't still there, because take Prince Harry out of Meghan's light, she is going to go back to square one. Okay, she has got children with Harry, but these children could also, be withdrawn, could be called back here, titles could be withdrawn from her children and they could just grow up as Archie and Lilibet. So really, Meghan needs to build her own identity. And if she's going to build this identity based on lies, as Cam Fang says here, based on lies and grievances, I don't see her moving anywhere forward. We also know that people have not yet bought into her concepts, but she is still putting forward the same narratives day in, day out. People are fed up. Okay, so she needs to start identifying something that is going to make her something that people will say that is Meghan's own product, okay? As opposed to using the royal family in all her programs, projects. She's talking about things related to the royal family, complaining about this and that. I don't see her moving anywhere forward if she's going to follow that same concept. So there was a story shared in the Daily Mail, I think, was it the Daily Mail or Telegraph? I don't know if I can look that story up. And in that story, let's see if I can look it up. In that story, this author, I think it was Tina Brown, she is the editor of the Vanity magazine, very, very popular magazine. Tina Brown said that Meghan needs to find something she can call her own. She needs to drive away from the narratives of the royal family didn't do this for me, they treated me like this, to establishing her brand based on genuinity, based on trust, truthfulness. She needs to find something new that people have not heard of and then build that up. We know she has those podcasts, but those podcasts are still rotating around what happened in her life. She needs to move away. Okay, if she's going to start projects, maybe start an educational project, maybe educating the girl child. Look at the look at the importance of why the girl child needs to be educated. These are the benefits. How can we help the girl child achieve this, achieve that, without really bringing her story of the past and how things work well for her into play, because people have already not bought into those concepts, as we know. But Meghan is still treading on the same stories, and what a disappointment this is going to be for her. Okay, and Lorna here says, people love Harry and have followed him since he was a baby. The same people don't know her and don't seem to enjoy seeing her, especially with him, because they very much know that Meghan has actually made Harry worse than what he was before. Okay, and Harry was the most loved royal, going from the most loved to actually sitting below Queen Camilla and all these other royals, Prince Andrew, who were always sitting down the bottom there. It's now Harry occupying those spaces. And Harry is down there simply because of the bad choices, the wrong choices, and the projects that, of course, he is engaging himself in, including his work with Netflix and his podcasts and the interviews that they carried out with Oprah Winfrey, projects that Meghan was seen as the driver. So he is actually taking up all the all the blame, and people are losing interest in Harry. So the only way Harry can fall back is to pull away from Meghan. But how easy is that going to be? Already we are hearing stories that Meghan is starting to talk to friends of hers that Harry is very clingy, and people are wondering, is this the beginning of Meghan running away from Harry? So that is another story we are yet to approve, but again, things will come out. There is no smoke without fire. Now, this is Ida. Hey, Francis, enjoying your content from Uganda. Uganda. Thank you so much, Sister Ida. Ida there, you're so much welcome aboard these Royal News Live catch-ups. So great to see you on this one, my dear sister I truly, truly miss you so much. Maybe we'll catch up with you sometime. But keep up the great support that is coming from that side of the world. So, guys, if you have any thoughts, drop them in the comments section below. Before I forget, this battery is on the wrong side of my Royal News Live today. So if it goes dead, don't worry, it's just the battery. I'll still be here and I can always catch up with you guys sometime. But that's it. I wanted to sort of get, to share with you what is going on so far in our Royals world. They are still very busy, and we know that King Charles III's coronation is drawing closer and closer. The more closer it gets, the more busier it gets as well. Meghan and Harry, apparently, if they go on behaving the way they are doing, they might miss out on being invited for the big occasion. Okay, so Meghan and Harry are set to miss out on King Charles III's coronation by invitation, and this is going to be because of how they are behaving towards the royal family. So King Charles III says, if you go on behaving the way you are, there will be no invitation for you. And I mean it. Apparently, King Charles has promised to be as ruthless as he can to Meghan and Harry if they don't stop doing whatever they are doing. Prince Harry's book is due to be released. They have a Docile's Netflix series that is coming up. Meghan is still carrying on with her podcasts, and we know how she is continuously digging the royal family through her podcasts. So King Charles III said, no invitation for you to attend my big day if you go on with this behavior of accusing the royal family of this, that, and that. Endless lies, endless stories that don't have any basis. Okay, so that is where Meghan and Harry sit in terms of their relationship. Things are still very sore. We don't see them coming back in anytime soon. We don't see those royal titles being given to them anytime soon, the children, and we don't see any conversations of repairing the relationship taking place any sooner, because King Charles made it clear that if anything like that is to work out, it has to be after Harry's book has been released. And I know he said that because he knows in that book there is a lot of lies, and these lies are going to put Meghan and Harry even more further away from King Charles III, from the royal family. And King Charles III made it very clear through those initial speeches he made that he wishes them well wherever they go. So that was a clear sign that he wasn't ready to have them back, because the royalists were worried, are they coming back? If they come back, they're going to mess the royal family up again. I'm here assuring you guys there won't be any way back for Meghan and Harry. And it's even becoming worse that they are engaging in activities that are putting the royal family further down. And you've had as well that very, very big court issue that Harry, Elton John, and a host of other celebrities teaming up together to sue the Daily Mail and its associated newspapers for sharing information about Harry and these people. And we know very much that these are all newspapers that work with the royal family. So suing those papers is very much suing King Charles III. Okay, and of course suing them is going to result into these cases taking up the social media and, overshadowing King Charles III's sort of efforts and his upcoming coronation. So it is not a good move for Prince Harry again. But again, he chose to engage in that activity, layers with these so-called Elton John and the rest of them, to go against newspapers that are very much in support of King Charles III's reign. something which tells us again that Harry has gone on the offensive. Okay, so these stories are endless, guys, but we shall always bring them up here in these editions of Royal News Live, because we are here to catch up and try and make sense of why these things are happening. Okay, so Lona says, Fang first says, Meghan wants to destroy Harry's chances of a return to Africa. That's why she purposely said what she did about Nelson Mandela. You absolutely. She is a calculated woman. She's very clever when she's doing these things. She's trying to destroy and block all avenues of Harry's blossoming. But while doing that, she's actually stopping both of them from thriving. But not even just them, they are children. Okay, because when people go on with this narrative of looking at Meghan and Harry the way they are, I don't think they are going to take them any seriously in any projects that they will be taking on in future. Later on, their children as well. Okay, so you're very, very right there, Cam Fong. Thank you for putting that on our wall today. Lona says, you bring people together from Uganda to California. Yes, Lona, we do. Thank you so much. This is a growing network. We want to go and reach as far as we can, touch all corners of this world through sharing our British Royal messages. And of course, without you guys here, I don't think we could make this great achievement that we have made so far with the growth we are receiving on this channel. So I'm really, really grateful for your support. Lona, Kamfang, Ida, wherever you are, my dear sister, Ashan, Stacy, you guys are rocking. We have a host of other friends of ours who haven't turned up here today, but I think they are very busy wherever they are today. Sundays are extremely busy because we get kids going back to school next day, and so it is a day for catching up with, preparing for work and preparing ahead of the new week. So I'm really, really grateful that some of you have managed to make this live stream today. We are indeed a great team sharing these messages here. So we've got a newcomer here, Gladys Mudoro, and Gladys says, when we look and do, she will remember Prince Charles, King Charles taking her along. Yes. I know what you're saying here. King Charles, of course, is somebody who always did nothing but love this girl. Welcome her to the royal family, offered to walk her down the aisle. Just kindness, only kindness. She came, she stayed only 6 months in the royal family and off she went. But what was more hurting is taking Prince Harry away from his family. We know how Prince Harry was raised, brought up, the traditions, the norms, everything that the royal family has done for Prince Harry trained him to be a future, king in terms of where he sits in that line to become king. Of course, he's now sitting in 5th place, but they have prepared him for that journey, for those eventualities, should they happen. And then we have somebody, Meghan, taking him away from what he was prepared to do. He did lots of tours of Afghanistan. He was trained in how to deal with certain situations. He had done royal tours with William and Catherine. He was the patron of so many charities here, but he threw all that away to go to the unknown. And as we speak right now, he's stuck in the United States. He didn't have any friends there. All the activities he loved doing were here. And we are having a situation where he was isolated. He was taken into the unknown, you may like to call it, by no one other than Meghan. And of course, Meghan first took him to Canada, from Canada to the United States. And you can see that Harry is not happy. That's how I look at him these days. They put on this face of a happy face happy couple. But behind the scenes, I don't think Prince Harry is happy at all. And when things don't go well, guess who is going to pick up the pieces? It is going to be the royal family. Okay, so guys, watch this space, but let us really, really hope that Prince Harry starts to realize that the mistakes he's making, that he's not listening to the family that raised him up. And we want him to realize that whatever Meghan is feeding him and making him to understand is only meant to sort of take Harry away from Meghan's own interests. Okay? And Meghan, of course, is a former actress. So we very much know and see how she's managing her podcasts. There is a lot of acting when she's holding these conversations. And initially she knew, arriving in the royal family, that she still very much wanted to be an actress. She knew where she belonged. So she was only here to get that fame, be known, and then use that fame to go away and start building a different life away from the royal family. But by doing that, she is destroying Harry, Harry's ambitions. Harry was a highly ambitious young man out here. But now, as we see, the life is leading in the United States, going into projects that are not working out simply because he doesn't have the right plan in place. He doesn't have the support he used to have while he was still here. And so you can see a prince who is really out of touch with the world, a world that he would have conquered had he still been in the royal family. Okay? But hey ho, guys, we hope this battery can take us above the 1 hour mark. But Cam, thank you again. She said Meghan can not let alone steal her spotlight and be more important than her. Yes, and we don't think Meghan will eclipse Harry in fame. We know that whatever she's doing now, Harry's pretty much in the background. Okay, there's a podcast, she's talking about herself. Maybe she praised Harry for helping her to cope with mental health. But again, she talked about Prince Harry in a way of Harry pushing her away to someone who was out of the royal family to help. So that did not please Harry at all, did it? Okay, so if he said Harry helped me while using the facilities within the royal family, that would have been a different story. But she said Harry directed me to somebody else out of the royal family. So that means Harry himself didn't do nothing apart from placing that call to someone else. So she never really points Harry in bright light. She always keeps him somewhere in the background. And now Lorna says, during the Oprah interview, Harry actually said, I didn't realize I was trapped until Meghan told me. You've hit the nail on the spot. You've hit the nail on the head. That interview is going to stay on record. It will never go away. Whenever we talk about Meghan and Harry, I'm very sure, not just me, I'm very sure everyone will always make reference of that interview. That is something that really, really ruined these people's life. If they didn't go on that interview, maybe there would have been concessions of some sort. But that interview is on record. Okay, that interview really, really highlighted a Meghan who changed Harry's mindset, who pumped so much into Harry's head, making him to believe his family didn't love him, his family did not care for him, his family had placed him under the carpet. Okay, and poor Harry, because of course he was so much in love at the time, he would not see beyond that. So he had to follow suit. He didn't have So I'm very, very, very grateful for you, Lorna, for highlighting that. Again, Meghan springs into action here with, manipulating Harry, telling him, yes, you know what, they don't like you. See how they treat your wife. Come on, Harry, you're better than this. Okay, and poor Harry had to leave. His family here, everything here, his accommodation, Frogmore Cottages, a beautiful home. He left everything here to go for a life of celebrity abroad. What a shame. Because I think these two would have actually been very impactful had they stayed behind. They would have achieved a lot for the royal family and for themselves as well had they stayed behind. But they chose to go because, again, Meghan had her own ambitions that superseded those of Harry and the royal family at large. But anyway, guys, we can sit here and talk about these two until, but what we can always say that time will soon catch up with them. They will soon realize that where they are running from is actually where they were meant to be. And of course, King Charles III has now promised to be very ruthless with them going forward. We know how Charles wasn't very outspoken when these issues to do with Meghan and Harry came up. He always took a back step and, waited other people to come up and speak things on his behalf. But now that Queen Elizabeth is gone, now that King Charles is now in that power, he needs to step up and put a stop to this behavior. Otherwise, the royal family is going to be pulled down. And we know that Prince William is working alongside his father now to try and put up policies, barriers, from and stop Meghan and Harry from doing whatever they are doing. We really hope that partnership continues, because in William we are seeing the future of the British royal family, and in Catherine as well we are seeing again a bright future. So we don't want Catherine Williams' future to be sort of ruined by people who are only after satisfying their own interests, the likes of Meghan. Hi guys, I'm really sorry I had battery issues here, but I will finalize this live because the battery still is very low. But then we can catch up, guys, when again other stories pop up. But it has been extremely great, guys, to hear from you again today. Your thoughts have been incredible. And if you have any stories that you love us to share in the next live stream, please drop them in the comment section below. And also, if you have any messages you have for us again, and any information you'd like to communicate regarding how we can take this channel forward, please drop all of that in the comments section below, and we will just try and react to that and follow that advice. But I'm so grateful for your support. I'm very sort of honored to have all of you on these live streams every time we set them up. The times are really awkward. But of course, because of the time zones, I have to find a time that I think is going to be well balanced. And yes, but I'm really glad for your support. Lorna, thank you so much. And I'm really grateful that you always show up on these lives. Ashan, so much again for the support. And I will always remember you guys because you have been there from day one since establishing this channel up to seeing it grow to now 50k subscribers. So let us keep on rocking, let us keep spreading these messages forward. We are all making a big difference. So that is it tonight, guys. I won't go beyond this because I need to get off and get this phone charged. And but I will catch up with you all in the new week. Lots of interesting stories coming up. Again, the coronation date is set as the 6th of May 2023, but that could change. We don't know yet, but I think as far as we know, it has been confirmed. Again, any other stuff that will be coming up regarding the coronation, I'll always share it here with you. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for staying around till the very end. Let me take this opportunity to wish you a fantastic new week ahead. And thank you for the support on my videos. I put out lots of videos in the week. Please, guys, show up, show some support. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Let us keep growing it. Share the channel with your friends. I will be extremely happy and honored if you do that. But most importantly, look after yourselves well, guys, because when you're healthy, we are all happy, and our channel can even go beyond boundaries. So let me use this opportunity to wish you all a fantastic new week ahead, and let us catch up in the new week with again another edition of the Royal News Live updates. Thank you so much, guys, and let me say bye-bye to you all. Bye-bye.